In a career spanning 21 years, from Africa to Europe and Asia, he scored 293 goals in 587 appearances and is often regarded as one of the greatest players of his generation and one of the greatest strikers and African players of all time. This is the story of Samuel Eto'o, born in Douala, Cameroon in 1981. Samuel grew up in the New Bell neighborhood, one of the city's toughest districts. Football was more than a pastime, it was a lifeline. At just 15 years old, he left Cameroon for France to join his cousins and pursue a dream. But without the right documents, his initial trial at a French club failed. He returned to Africa, only to catch the attention of European scouts once again. In 1996, Real Madrid took a chance on the teenager, but with no European passport and fierce competition in the squad, Eto'o was loaned out to develop elsewhere. His time at Leganés Español and eventually Mallorca would shape him into the striker the world would soon recognize. At Mallorca, Eto'o finally found his rhythm. Fast, fearless, and always on the move, he scored 70 goals over 5 seasons. In 2003, he helped the club win the Copa del Rey, their first major trophy, cementing himself as a legend at just 22. Barcelona came calling in 2004. The Catalan giants saw in Eto'o what Madrid had missed. In his very first season, he helped lead Barca to the La Liga title, scoring 24 goals and forming a deadly partnership with Ronaldinho and Deco. In 2006, Eto'o scored the equalizer in the UEFA Champions League final against Arsenal. Barcelona would go on to lift the trophy, with Eto'o named African Player of the Year for the third consecutive time. But his hunger didn't fade. In the 2008-09 season under Pep Guardiola, Eto'o scored 36 goals in all competitions, including the opening goal in the Champions League final against Manchester United. Barcelona completed a historic treble, and yet that summer he was sold. Eto'o was not shy of speaking his mind and would confront anyone head-on. He had run-ins with Guardiola and met any perceived disrespect with a direct challenge.
J'ai souffert pour être là, je respecte tout le monde, mais si vous ne me respectez pas, je ne vous respecte pas. Mais alors là, je fais le double, ou voire même le triple que ce que vous avez fait.
Swapped for Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Eto'o moved to Inter Milan. Many questioned the decision. Eto'o didn't. Under Jose Mourinho, he adapted, pressing, defending, assisting, and winning. Inter claimed the treble in 2010. Eto'o became the first player to win consecutive trebles with 2 different clubs. In the process, he proved he was more than a goal scorer. He was a champion in every sense. After Inter, Eto'o joined Anzi Makachkala in Russia in one of the most surprising moves of his career. There, he became the highest-paid player in the world, showing that African footballers could command top billing on and off the pitch. He returned to mainstream Europe with Chelsea, scoring a hat-trick against Manchester United and helping the Blues reach the Champions League semi-final. Brief stints at Everton, Sampdoria, Antalyaspor, and Qatar SC followed, as he closed out a 2-decade career. Internationally, Eto'o carried the hopes of a continent. He led Cameroon to Olympic gold in 2000 and won 2 Africa Cup of Nations titles. He remains the all-time top scorer in AFCON history and for the Cameroon national team. Samuel Eto'o wasn't just a great African player, he was one of the greatest strikers the game has ever seen. Determined, electric, and relentless, he shattered ceilings and silenced critics at every turn. His legacy lives not just in the goals or the trophies, but in the path he carved for the next generation.